The clients are rumored to be worth like 10x what Hasan is. If good press can be so easily bought, why is it that only positive articles written about H3H3 from some Israeli PR firm posting AI-generated slop on Medium? Lol, this is getting pathetic. People don't like you, bro. You can't buy your way out of that. This is the funniest thing, though, to be like, people don't like you, bro. I'm... pretty sure people like me, man. I don't know. My manager just texted me and said, "You do have a publicist, bro." And then he said it's his name. Yeah, that's my publicist, my manager. I mean, unironically, he does handle all the inbound requests coming from media. Holy fuck, the subreddit is so bad that nobody bothered to post your article to the sub. We can't do anything. Yeah. I can't even fucking reach this goddamn article. Holy shit. I'm working on the assistant thing for the record. Okay? This guy's suing people into liking you, by the way. Oh yeah, I have a publicist called the CCP. It's true. Remove the paywall. It's been a hectic year for Hasan Piker. On top of broadcasting the slow death of liberalism nearly every day out of his home in West Hollywood, 33-year-old socialist streamer has left his desk to appear at Bernie Sanders' Fighting Oligarchy tour, kneecaps Coachella performance, the Palestine rally in D.C., an interview with New York City mayoral candidate Zohran Mamdani, and most recently, the ICE protest in Los Angeles, taking his massive Twitch audience along for the ride. Once widely known as Woke Bay for his sharp yet horny daily broadcast, Piker, who was raised in Turkey, has recently amassed enough respect to ignite feverish debates on whether he can be the long-awaited Joe Rogan of the left. As legacy media hemorrhages his youth audience, Piker's viewers turn to him to explain the news and analyze often unprecedented moments in global history. Piker sees the current political moment in stark terms, and his recent output suggests he's operating with a new sense of determination. Liberalism is failing, fascism is rising through the ashes, and God forbid the alternative. Any sort of socialist thought is terrifying for the masses to actually develop any kind of allegiance to, he said, when we spoke on the phone earlier this year. But after years spent amassing a devoted audience as his profile has grown, so has the target on his back. In the last month alone, he has had his Twitch channel suspended, been detained by Customs and Border Protection, and gotten caught up in a tortuous feud with frenemy Ethan Klein. Ethan Klein mentioned. There you go, Ethan. His Twitch stream, however, to which he still devotes hours a day, remains his primary focus. While his work has resulted in a good deal of notoriety, the job itself can be unglamorous and painstaking. Before logging on, Piker says he spends his mornings perusing every corner of the media before setting an agenda that he'll post to his social media channels. The lineup for a recent broadcast: New Pope, Trump drama with Israel, Remeza Öztürk free, I am still suck in France. Piker's is a new version of leftist news broadcaster. Liberal media MSNBC Bill Maher, Pod Save America, is making a very cold, calculated decision to demonstrate loyalty to liberalism at a time when it's very clearly failing ideologically. Everything is fine. Plug your eyes. Keep the ideological zealotry going. They've given up, he says. What he delivers is clearly finding an audience with a young, eager, very online audience. There's a structural hurdle that they cannot clear. They cannot turn around and get people to go back on TV. When you look at the audience numbers for 18 to 35 or even under 50, and this even includes Fox News, it's gone. I, on my own, as a singular content creator from my living room, reach a larger audience of 18 to 35-year-olds than numerous TV channels combined. That's crazy. Outside of his own show, Piker frequently appears on other podcasts and live streams. After watching him play Assassin's Creed, talk about Vinland Saga, work out with Dr. Mike Israel, or pal around with fellow streamers Maya Higa and Valkyrie elsewhere on the internet, people might tune in to hear Piker make a case for a political figure that includes Medicare for all, political future, Palestinian freedom, and transgender rights. Where did these disparate interests all come from? Piker described the influences that shape his Twitch broadcast. Mainstream media. My media diet consists of everything. I pride myself on looking at everything all the way down to a hyper niche subset of an online movement, while also consuming more Fox News than your grandfather. My mornings consist of listening to NPR and the New York Times to get a good grasp of everything that's going on. I probably watch a lot more right-wing commentary now because I'm trying to figure out exactly what Republicans are saying and doing, what they're focusing on, and then also trying to figure out ways of dismantling these arguments that they put forward, or see what kind of misinformation campaigns they're running nowadays. Democracy Now! With Amy Goodman, The Daily Show with Jon Stewart. Amy Goodman has been very influential for me. I don't even know when I started watching Democracy Now!, to be honest, but I think it was during college, 2009 or so. I can't point to a single event, but broadly during the war in Iraq, The Daily Show was basically one of the only voices out there that was genuinely critical of both parties. So that definitely influenced my commentary. I wouldn't say Jon Stewart influenced me ideologically. I already had this opinion. Growing up on that side of the world, I already felt what America was doing was wrong. But seeing someone tackle it in an entertaining and palatable manner and give it to both sides was very influential for me. Ironically, I filled that void for many of my international fans who were like, is there an American out there that's criticizing a lot of the stuff that America's doing around the globe? The way Amy Goodman and Jon Stewart actually filled it for me. Someone recently asked me, what unlocked their social consciousness? Growing up in Turkey, I only saw black culture as fascinating commodity to consume. If you're coming from a country where there's not a lot of black people, your introduction to American culture is simply black culture, and everyone is fascinated with that. And for me, it was Aaron McGruder's The Boondocks that was influential in my understanding of black revolutionary history or issues that pertain to black and brown communities. The Boondocks predicted thing is actually kind of annoying because they're not predicting anything. They were leftists. That's it. The people who were making it at the time had a closeness to historical materialism. It's not prophecy. It's just looking at the way things are and interpreting them correctly rather than engaging in silly liberal good bad dynamics. That's mostly the reason why the Boondocks and old Simpsons come across as brilliant and prophetic. By the way, I'm kind of spitting, like, you know, not to self-glaze, playing video games. I think gaming is a very good way to approach a broader audience, and I see people and have people see me engage in something that they are also interested in. Charitability is the most important thing for my commentary because for a lot of people, they're hearing the way I view the world for the first time ever. So I need that, and I think gaming plays a big role in that. I get to be able to share something that I love and something that I enjoy with my audience, and I try to be as entertaining as possible in that process. Shut the fuck up, everyone complaining that I'm not playing games. Video games also play an important role in preserving my mental sanity, but there are some rage-inducing games that I have to quit after a while, despite of how addicted I get to them, because they have a negative impact on my mental health, like Valorant. I love Disco Elysium. It has something for every flavor of anti-capitalism. It was not a very good stream game, unfortunately. I think the YouTube video afterwards did well, but during the stream, people were getting kind of bored because it's like a novel. Bill Burr. I try to be funny. It's really important to be entertaining, cool, and fun while you're doing your news coverage, especially when you're trying to teach people. These are like they asked me, I think, this was such a long time ago, but I think they just asked me like what my media influences are. Comedy is the greatest way to do that. I'm not one of those people who's like comedians are the philosophers of the world or whatever, because I laugh at a fart joke just like everybody else does. There are plenty of things that make me laugh that aren't brilliant or thought-provoking. Bill Burr does this really well. He's carrying the torch of George Carlin. He's not perceived as a crazy guy who's a radical, who has scary opinions. Why? Because he's a comedian. Sci-fi films, I weirdly enough love the movie Elysium, which is so embarrassing to admit because it's a dog shit movie. It's not a good movie at all, but the world building is what I like the most. I just really like tech dystopia future movies. Movies can critique power. The greatest example of that is Star Wars, right? George Lucas very clearly defined Star Wars as an interpretation of the Viet Cong against the American Empire. It is supposed to be an anti-imperialist work. That's not a secret at all, yet everybody misses the point. I wouldn't consider George Lucas a revolutionary figure at all. Gaining that level of power and prominence does have the capacity to kind of stunt your radical approach to the world, or your revolutionary fervor goes away when you become very comfortable. It's something that I also think about in my own personal experience. Movies can create real critique of power, but once it's commodified and it's ready for mass consumption, you can't really control the ways in which the masses consume it and interpret the message you're putting out there. Another great example is obviously Starship Troopers. The novel it's based on is supposed to be pro-fascist, but the movie is a critique of fascism and ultranationalism and patriotism and war, imperialism, all that. Good luck explaining that to anybody. Most people look at that and they go, no, I don't care. Bugs are stupid and they must be eradicated. It's up to interpretation, and therefore a lot of people will miss the message. And I guess that's the end of the article. I can't see the comments because I'm not signed in, but I assume they're all wonderful. This is before I watch. That's how you know this is so long ago, because I didn't even mention Andor, because I would have absolutely mentioned Andor. Here, before we get to Ted Nivison, here's a 42-second clip.
I made this video for two reasons. First, to stop Hasan infiltrating mainstream media.
Shut up, bitch!
Popular left-wing Twitch streamer and YouTuber Hasan Piker.
This is Hasan Piker.
Mr. Hasan.
Hasan Piker, one of the top streamers on Twitch.
Hasan Piker, what's up?
Hasan Piker. Hasan Piker.
Hasan.
She lie to your face, I really don't get it. She say what you want her to say. At the end of the day, I'm still getting money regardless, I'm still getting paid. She won't Gucci, Louis, and the fit. Fuck around and leave your pockets in. Swear I ain't a killer when I'm telling you, Missy, do you really miss me?
My lawyer can't do fucking shit.
Bro, that is a fire edit. Yeah. Could you imagine wasting 6 months of your time to make a video that failed miserably in every way? It not only failed miserably in every way, but it also basically became a permanent point of record that people can always look back at throughout history to see exactly how wrong
This is Hasan.
exactly how wrong Ethan Klein was. The Kleins are rumored to be worth like 10x what Hasan is. If good press can be so easily bought, why is it the only positive articles written about H3 or some from some Israeli firm posting AI generated slop on Medium? Tell people to subscribe. Yes, subscribe so that I can buy more articles. That's right. The Piker Broadcasting Service is brought to you by the viewers. Ethan finna post 35-hour videos about this. I mean, fuck it. Who cares? I don't think people... I think the problem with like identifying a target and constantly harassing them and constantly attacking them is that it doesn't necessarily work unless it's like a valid target to criticize. Like Keemstar, valid target, right? Everybody despises him for understandable reasons. But if it's someone like myself, especially at a time when like unprecedented fascism is taking place and you're trying to tackle me off of the perspective of like politics, and I'm a political commentator and you're not a very knowledgeable party to begin with, and you're on the fucking unpopular wrong side of an issue while simultaneously presenting yourself as like a person that is on the right side of the issue, it's just like all distorted and twisted. I'm also not like a fucking shadowy billionaire who doesn't have like an audience or anything, like Brian Kavanaugh or whatever the fuck his name is. But I guess that also he got packed up on in the courts on that one too. Damn, I guess he can't fucking win against anybody at this point. It's really fucked up. But yeah, it's just like... It's dumb. The world is ending right now. Fuck his shit. You got way more to focus on. He's just getting smaller and can't get any motion with all this going on. Eating alive, I'm sure. Yeah.